Hi everyone, this is Victor with Down Yoga. Thanks for joining us again. Karina is going to be helping me here with the practice. Have a special guest here as well. All we need is our mat today. Make sure you have your water if you need it. And let's start today in Child's Pose, please. And choose what version of Child's Pose you're going to be in with your knees apart and your rib cage inside your inner thighs. Or you can also have your thighs together and just allow the hips to get heavy towards your heels. Extend the arms forward. And just let your mind draw its attention to the breath. Expanding the entire torso with each inhale. Notice how the body moves. Start forming the palms a little more. Spread the fingers wide. Spin the triceps down to the floor. Feel the shoulder blades engaging on the back. Allow the breath to get slow and even, same length on inhale and exhale. Lift your forearms. Tuck your toes under from here, moving to downward facing dog. And find any movement you need in downward facing dog here. You can move the hips around, pedal your feet. Make sure the fingers are really wide, pushing with the base of the index finger. And keep moving, or maybe start finding stillness here. Notice where your gaze is, looking between your knees, or bring the chin closer to the chest, gaze towards your navel. Keep the gaze soft, attention to the breath. Notice the sound through the back of the throat. And keep thinking of reaching the hips away from the shoulders the best you can. Keep pulling the navel in, engaging the lower belly. And we'll slowly walk the hands back towards your feet. And put a small bend on the knees. You can hold on to your elbows and then sway side to side. Try to have a little more weight towards the front of your feet, the light on the heels, and keep your knees bent here. Imagine you were trying to touch your belly to the top of your thighs. So you're tilting the pelvis forward. Relax the neck so the crown of the head is hanging down to the floor. And then switch the elbow, the grip. And notice how you're firming the feet on the floor here, the base of your big toe and the pinky toe. Try to firm evenly. Sometimes we press more with the outer edge of the feet, sometimes more on the inner edges. Try to bring balance to where you're pushing down with your feet. Now release your elbows, lower the hands down to the floor. Keep your knees bent, and slowly you're going to roll all the way up like a rag doll. Your head's the last thing to come up. You can even bend your knees a little more. Keep rounding. And once you stand up, roll the shoulders back. Confirm your thighs, pushing the front of your thighs back, palms facing forward. With an inhale, reach your hands to the sides and up. When you get on top, interlace the fingers, flip your palms up towards the ceiling. And firming the thighs here, pull the front of your hip bones up, and then side bend to your right. Send a deep breath to the left side of your waist. Keep hugging the lower ribs in. Inhale Inhale, bring your hands up again. And with the exhale, side bend to the other side. This time, try to bring the right shoulder further back so you're still broadening the chest. Inhale, reach up, release the interlace of the fingers. And with an exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees as much as you need, fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands and walk all the way forward into plank pose. Try to have your shoulders right above your wrists here. And spin the triceps back so the eye of the elbow is going forward. Round your back a little more so you are bringing the shoulder blades apart from each other. And point your tailbone to your heels and squeeze your quads. And you can even open your heels slightly to the side so you feel your inner thighs spinning up to the ceiling. Now shift slightly forward, come halfway down with your knees up or down. Inhale, push up into plank. Exhale, down dog. Again, inhale, come forward, plank pose. Keep the engagement of the legs, knees up or down. Bring your shoulders forward, Chaturanga, halfway down. Wrap the elbows in. Inhale, push up into plank. Exhale, down dog. One more time, forward into plank pose. Keep moving your shoulders forward. Chaturanga, halfway down. Keep the elbows in. Push back up into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reach the right leg back with an inhale. Exhale, bring your shoulders over the wrists, knee to your nose. Round your back here and keep holding for a few breaths. Spin the triceps back, keep the arms strong, creating lift. And step your right foot in between the hands. You can move your right foot 1 or 2 inches to the right so your stance is a little wider. The feet are as wide as the hips. Now start reaching the hands forward. Hover your torso over the thigh. And lengthen the left leg here the most you can, pushing back with your heel. On the right foot, try to bring the weight more to the inner edge of your right heel and to the base of the right big toe. Now with an inhale, reach your hands up towards the ceiling. You can put a small bend on the left knee. Now interlace the fingers, pointing the index up and side bend to your right. Send a deep breath to the left side of the waist. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step back into plank. Halfway down, Chaturanga, and hold. Engage the quads. Push up into plank, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg. Left toes pointing down to the floor, shoulders over the wrists, knee towards your nose. 3 breaths here. Keep pushing the floor away from you, hollowing the chest. Now step your left foot in between your hands. Find a line from the right heel to the top of your head and start reaching the arms forward here. Engage the side muscles, the oblique muscles. Try to lift a little higher away from the thigh, but keep the torso diagonally with the floor. Engage the right leg a little more. Spin the triceps down, bring the shoulder blades to the side of the waist. Now keep reaching. Now you can place a small bend on the right knee, reach your hands up to the ceiling for Crescent Pose. Interlace the fingers, maybe the other thumb on top this time, point your index, and side bend to the left. And keep the weight even on 4 corners of your left foot. Maybe bring the weight slightly towards the inner edge of the left foot. We tend to move the weight to the outer edge in these poses. Keep in mind that. Inhale, reach up again. Release the interlace of the fingers. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Lower halfway down, Chaturanga. And then lower all the way down to your belly. Reach your hands back. Interlace the fingers together or keep your hands apart with your palms facing each other. Either way. Roll the shoulders back. Keep reaching forward with your chest. And push the tops of your feet on the floor with the pinky toe side. Inhale, raise the chest. Using the back muscles, keep the feet pushing down to the floor for Shalabhasana. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a little more, like the back. Bring the shoulder blades together, firming then into the back ribs, chest really broad. Bring the hands next to your rib cage, fingertips facing forward. Come into Bhujangasana one time, inhale, Cobra. Keep rolling the heads of the shoulders back and the chest moving forward. Exhale, lower down. This time you can come up into Cobra or Up Dog, your choice. Inhale, come up. And with an exhale, bring your hips back to Downward Facing Dog. Let's stay here for a moment. Watch how the breath is flowing again. And try always to keep in mind to bring the weight on the webbing in between the index finger and the thumb. So you have and spinning the triceps down so you have external rotation on the shoulder socket, giving more space for the neck. Keep watching how the breath's flowing. A few more breaths. With an inhale, look in between the hands. You can raise your heels high, bend your knees, and either step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. You can keep your knees bent if you need to. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Now firm your feet down, engage your quads. Inhale, reach all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your hands together, Samastiti. Let's do a few sun salutation, eh? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, straight back, fold forward. Bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back. Knees up or down, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Tops of your feet on the floor. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips back, down dog. A few deep breaths here. Can always keep a small bend on the knees in down dog so you can bring the hips further back, find more length through the wrists all the way to the hips. Now looking between the hands, raise your heels, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, fold. With an inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Exhale, slowly fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, reaching the chest forward. Exhale, plant your palms. You can step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Firm the thighs, firm the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get a few deep, slow breaths here. And anytime you need a break when we come to down dog, you can always place the knees down. Now looking between the hands, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. And with an exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back. Make your way through your vinyasa to down dog. And find the engagement of the arms again. Reach the right leg back. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, bring your knee across to your left elbow, shoulders over the wrists again. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach. Exhale, slowly, as slow as you can, bring your knee forward again towards your nose. Start rounding the back, lift your chest higher away from the floor, and then step your right foot in between the hands. Lower the left heel to the side. Setting up for warrior one, hips and chest squared. And think of reaching both sides of the waist forward towards the front of your mat. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. VIBEZZZZZ 1. And here, interlace the fingers together again. Flip your palms up. And try to bring the biceps as far back as you can, but try to keep the lower ribs in so you're not dumping the weight into your lower back. Point your tailbone down to the floor and keep hugging the navel in and up. Try to keep grounding with the edge of the left foot on the floor, the left heel. And bend a little deeper onto the right knee. I keep kicking the candles here. Now unflip the palms, release the interlace of the fingers. Reach back. Now interlace the fingers behind your back. Roll the shoulders back and the chest forward. Inhale up. Exhale, fold into humble warrior. Bring the right shoulder close to the right knee. And avoid bringing the torso to the left. Keep reaching straight forward with both sides of the waist. You can release the right toes slightly so you're pushing down at the center of your right heel. And keep firming the outside of your left foot down to the floor. Take a deep inhale. Stay for the exhale. Next inhale, come up, release your hands, reach up, warrior one. Lower the hands down to the floor with an exhale, straight into Chaturanga, step back, bend your elbows with your knees up or down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg back, three-legged dog. Left toes pointing down. Then bring your knee to your left elbow, shoulders over the wrists. Shoulder blades wide. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach. Exhale, bring your knee across the right elbow. Inhale, reach back again. Move your hips back as far as you can. And then really slow, bring your knee into your nose. And think of reaching the chest towards the ceiling. So you hollow the chest as much as you can, create that space. And then step your left foot in between the hands, right heel to the side, right foot flat on the floor. And start reaching with the sides of the body forward. Reach your hands to warrior one, all the way up. You can interlace the fingers again with the other thumb on top if you remember which one was on the first side. Flip your palms up and bring the biceps as far back as you can without arching the lower back. You can even be reaching a little bit forward here as long as you keep your lower ribs in. Keep watching the breath. You can soften the gaze slightly down. Try to just see the silhouette of your nose. And keep paying attention on the breath, the sound, how it's flowing through the body. I can unflip the palms, release the interlace of the fingers. Bring your hands back and interlace the hands behind your back with the other thumb on top again. Reach your knuckles down, roll the shoulders back, take a deep breath. Raise the chest up. Exhale, humble warrior. left shoulder towards your left knee. And keep trying to reach the right side of your body forward. So avoid bringing the body to the side, just so you can bring the head lower down. Don't worry about how low the head's towards the floor. Keep the energy going straight forward here. From the outside of the right foot back. Stay for another inhale. Stay for the exhale. With an inhale, reach up, release the hands, warrior one. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step back into plank. And you can hold plank here. Lower your forearms down to the floor. And any variation, you can have your forearms parallel to each other. You can interlace the fingers. And step your feet a little wider and lower both of your heels to the left. Engage both of your quads here. Point your tailbone towards your heels and try to move a little more weight to your right forearm. Try to lift your chest a little higher so you round the upper back slightly. And try to pick your left foot off the floor for a few seconds. Keep reaching with your left heel. Now lower it down. Bring both heels up again. And the feet a little wider than the hips again. Now lower both heels to the right. Firm the quads again. Keep hugging the lower belly in. Bring a little more weight towards the left arm and pick your right foot off the floor for a few seconds. You can set it down. Raise your heels again. One arm at a time, plank pose. And you can move to down dog with or without a vinyasa, your choice. And you can hold down dog for 5 breaths or take a break in child's pose. It's up to you. If you need a sip of water. Three more deep breaths. Maybe start making your way back into downward facing dog. Now looking between the hands, raise your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Try to keep your toes together, bend your knees, come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees a little deeper. Now you can bring your left arm under the right, moving to a Garudasana, arms. Raise the elbows a little higher, or maybe just hold your shoulders, and try to keep your hands moving away from the face. Now pick your left foot an inch off the floor slowly and cross your left leg over the right. You can cross it once or twice, that doesn't matter. Try to bend the right knee a little deeper. And keep reaching the elbows a little higher and the hands slightly forward. Now slowly uncross the legs. We'll move straight into Warrior 3 here. Release the cross of the arms, any variation of the hands. You can place the hands together, reach the hands back or forward. Keep reaching the left heel as far back as you can, as if there was a wall behind you and you're pushing against the wall. And the right inner thigh spinning up to the ceiling. Try to move the left side of your hip further down so your hips are level. And reach a little more with the chest, like in Cobra. Now slowly, bend your standing leg, come back into Crescent Pose. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, left hand down to the floor, right hand up to the ceiling and twist. Think of the length of the left leg. Try to bring the right shoulder further back. Deep inhale. Exhale, right hand down to the floor. Step back into plank, vinyasa, down dog. You can always skip the vinyasa. You can firm the heels down, the hips moving back. And keep noticing where the weight's on the hands. Push right at the base of the index finger again. With a deep inhale, looking between the hands, raise the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold. Now bend your knees into a chair pose, Utkatasana. You'll bring your right arm under the left this time. Reach your elbows a little higher, hands moving away from the face. Pick your right foot off the floor slowly and cross your right leg over the left. You can cross once or twice. You can always hold on to the shoulders as well. And as you lift the elbows a little higher, moving the hands forward, notice what's happening in between the shoulder blades. If you can feel a deeper stretch there or not, just try to notice what's happening there. Now slowly we'll uncross the legs and the arms, moving to Warrior 3. Any variation of the arms. You can start with a small bend on the left knee. Bring the leg and the torso parallel with the floor. And as you reach the right heel back, reach a little more with the chest. Try to find a small back bend on the upper back, very little. Reaching the top of the chest forward. And as slow as you can, we'll bend the standing leg, step back into a lunge, and reaching the hands up to Crescent Pose. Inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, release the right hand down to the floor, left hand up. Now you can lengthen the right leg a little further. Keep bringing the left inner thigh towards your left rib cage. Bring the left shoulder further back. Stay for another inhale. Exhale, left hand down to the floor. Step back into plank. Down dog with or without a vinyasa. Now the 5 breaths in down dog, you can take 3 breaths in child's pose if you need a break. Use down dog to regroup. Get back to the breath. Down dog or child's pose. Firm the hands again. Arms straight and firm. Spin the triceps down. If you are in child's pose, come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Raise your heels, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Inhale, come halfway up. And then step your feet wider than your hips. Heel toe. Keep your toes pointing slightly to the sides. Drop your hips down into Malasana, to a squat. Bring your hands together. You can squat down as low as it feels okay for you, for your ankles, for your knees, for your hips. Maybe you could be here. You don't have to come all the way down. And then just sway side to side here so you feel a little more on the hips. Keep growing tall through the sides of the waist. Now you can release the left hand in front of your left foot. Right here, yes. And open the right arm to the side. Find a small twist there. Try to bring the right shoulder as far back as you can. Pushing the shoulder blades into your back ribs. Stay here or take the bind or even a half bind with the right arm. And if you have the bind, try to open the chest a little more. Bring the right shoulder further back. Let go of the bind if you have it. Bring your hands together to heart center. Lengthen again through the sides of the body. Now release your right hand in front of the right foot. Open the left arm to the side. Keep growing tall through the sides of the body. Try not to round the back here. And take a half bind with the left arm or a full bind wrapping the right arm around the right shin. And holding your fingers, maybe you can hold to your wrist. I almost forgot what wrist is called in English. And if you have the bind, you can let go of it. Bring your hands back to heart center. Stay here for 5 breaths or take into crow pose, Bakasana. Either or. If you are in Malasana, just keep paying attention to the breath. If you are in crow, keep your toes touching. If you can, point your toes back. Bend your knees as much as you can. Bring the heels close to the glutes. It's easier to balance that way. No rush. Stay here for as long as it feels okay for you. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. You can step, jump back. Now if I inhale, reach the right leg back. And as slow as you can, knee to your nose. Lightly right foot in between the hands. Now keep the right hand down. Lower the left heel to the side. The other side. The other way. Yeah, so you're setting up for a base of warrior 2. You can keep your right hand down to the floor to a block or bring the elbow on top of the thigh. Reach your left hand up towards the ceiling into a side angle pose. And bring your left hand behind your head. And try to move the left shoulder as far back as you can. And push the shoulder blades into your chest, so you're trying to broaden the chest. Try to release the toes, keep the weight on the heels. Reach your right hand up to the ceiling. Now lower the right hand down to the floor. The left hand down as well. Walk your hands around all the way back towards your left foot. Bend your knee into Skandasana, side lunge. Walk this way here. Come this way. Yeah, side lunge. Skandasana. And then bend your left knee. You can spin the right leg, pointing your right toes up. And Karina is reaching her hands forward. If you want, you can keep the hands on heart center. Use a block. Okay, now let's try the bind as well around the left shin, grabbing the hands behind your back. Release the bind if you have it. Now we walk the hands forward again. Plant your right foot down to the floor and come straight up into Warrior 3 with your hands on heart center. Take a deep inhale here. Now we're going to do a few squats here in one leg. Slowly bend your standing leg. Bring your left knee close to your left ankle. Give a little tap and come back into Warrior 3. Inhale up. Exhale again. Left knee towards your left ankle. Inhale, Warrior 3. Exhale, squat down, knee to your ankle. Inhale up. 2 more times. Exhale down, knee to the ankle. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to your ankle. Inhale up. Now slowly step your left foot next to the right. Bring your torso up, stand up. Now bring the right knee into your chest. From here, just bring your left hand outside the right knee. reaching the right hand back, or you can hold outside the right foot and extend the leg. Keep growing tall through the chest, either of these options. Slowly untwist, come back through center, keep your knee up, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands together, foot down to the floor. Take a few breaths here. Soften the gaze, slow down the breath, firm your feet down. Inhale, let's reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands. You can step, jump back, go through curl. It's up to you. We'll meet in downward facing dog. No rush, take your time. Once you get to down dog, regroup, watch your breath. With an inhale, reaching the left leg back. And use your exhale to slowly, with control, bring the left foot in between your hands. Lower the right heel to the side, right foot flat on the floor, the warrior two base. Now move into a side angle pose. You can keep your left hand down to the floor or on top of your knee. Reach the right hand up first. Peel the right shoulder further back. Place your right hand behind your head. And try to bring the elbow as far back as you can. And at the same time, pushing the shoulder blades forward. Broadening the chest as much as you can. Keep trying to point your tailbone down to the floor so this is not going to the lower back. Firm both heels down towards each other, engage in the inner thighs. Try to open the chest a little more, bring the right shoulder further back. Reach the right hand up to the ceiling. Now slowly bring both hands down inside the left foot, and you walk the hands back again into a side lunge, all the way to the back of the mat. Bend your right knee, you can readjust the feet. Spin the left leg, pointing your left toes up. And you can keep your hands on the floor, hands on heart center, go for the bind. And I can see Karina is thinking about those Warrior 3 squats. Slow down the breath, stay with it. You can release the bind if you have it. Walk your hands forward again. Plant your left foot to the floor with your toes pointing forward. And we'll move straight into Warrior 3. With hands on heart center this time. Try to keep the shoulders moving back so your chest is broad. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, right knee to the left ankle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, knee to ankle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, knee to ankle. Inhale, up. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, up. One more time. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, come up. Warrior 3. Lengthen, reach the right foot back. And then slowly step your right foot next to the left. Bring your torso up. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Bring your left knee towards your chest. Now the right hand will go outside the left knee. Reach the left arm back. Stay here. Or you can hold the outside of the left foot and extend the left leg forward. A few deep, slow breaths here. Try to keep strong with the right leg. You can untwist, reach your hands up, keep your knee up. Exhale, hands together, feet down to the floor. Take 3 breaths here. Regroup, standing tall. Keep the attention on the sound of the breath. Inhale, let's reach up. Urdhva. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthen, reach forward with your chest. And then again, plant your palms, go through crow, step, jump back. Your choice, take your time. We'll meet in downward facing dog, no rush. Can always take a break in child's pose in between. From this down dog, reach the right leg back, really long. Exhale, right foot in between your hands. Use your inhale to come up into Crescent Pose. Grow through the sides of the waist. Bring your hands together. Take a deep inhale first here. And with your exhale, you twist to the left for a crescent twist. Any variation of the pose. You can keep pressing the palms together. Extend the arms. Work on a half bind, a full bind. Don't forget the engagement of the left leg. So the left heel reaches as far back. Try to keep the breath going all the way to the top of your chest, the best you can. Stay for another inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Keep your left hand down, roll to the outer edge of your left foot, side plank. Any variation of side plank, again, you can set your knee down, modify as you need. If you want more, you can raise the right leg, hook the big toe. All options open. Keep spinning the left triceps back, move the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, plank pose. Down dog with or without a vinyasa. From down dog, inhale, reach the left leg back. Slowly, left foot in between the hands as you exhale. With an inhale, come up into Crescent Pose. Bring your hands together on heart center. With an inhale, lengthen a little more. Use your exhale to twist to the left. And as you twist, reach the right heel further back. And think of reaching forward with the top of the chest so you're not rounding your back. You want to firm the shoulder blades into your back ribs. And keep peeling the left shoulder back here. Any variation with the arms here as well. And breathe. Stay for another inhale. Exhale, lower the hand down, plant your right palm, roll to the outer edge of the right foot, moving to side plank again, any version of side plank. Stay connected to the breath, inhale and exhale even. Strong with the right arm so the triceps are rolling back, sliding your shoulder blades down onto your back ribs. Come down into plank pose. Down dog with or without a vinyasa. And come down to child's pose for a few breaths. Now at home you can move towards a wall I'm going to do about 2 minutes of inversions. Headstand, if you want to do any other inversion, maybe legs up the wall, forearm balance, handstand, you can do so. But let's try to do headstand today for at least a minute. You can sit on your heels first. Move to the wall if you need at home. You can use a couch, anything that to support you as a safe net for your balance. And then plant your hands on the floor, interlace the fingers together. Keep the elbows about as wide as your shoulders. Place the crown of the head down to the floor. And you don't really have to press the palms of the hands into your head. Maybe keep a few millimeters in between so you're not gripping the head with your hands. Keep lightly there. Then slowly you can come up into your headstand. Take your time there. If you want to modify here, you can hold in Dolphin Pose with your forearms on the floor. And don't forget to breathe. And while you are doing your inversion, try to notice what the entire body is doing. How are you pushing the forearms down to the floor? Think of pushing them down as you're trying to lift yourself off the floor. Try to keep your gaze towards your nose. Bring the shoulder blades a little wider so you're not bringing an internal rotation on the shoulder socket. Shoulder blades wide on the back. Think of pulling your belly button in towards your spine. And the legs are just engaged as if they were in plank pose. So you're firming the thighs, more like in upper facing dog with your toes pointing up. Or if you want to flex your feet, you can flex your feet as well. Reach up with your heels. Take your time here. Whenever you're ready, you can come down, take a break in Child's Pose. You can stay for another 30 seconds. And once you come down from the inversion, try not to get up right away. Stay with your head down for a few breaths. If you're at the wall, make your way back into the mat. And move back into downward facing dog. From down dog, as you exhale, step your right foot outside the right hand into a lizard lunge. You can set your left knee down to the floor. Reach your left hand up and back. The right hand up, I mean. And then you can bend your left knee. Grab your left foot. And you can do what Karina is doing here. She's rolling to the outer edge of her right foot to give you more space to get deeper on the front side of the left leg. You can try to move the hips further forward so you're targeting the psoas muscle, the hip flexors on the left leg. And an option to place the left forearm down to the floor. You don't have to do it, just as an option. And breathe. Now let go of your left foot. Bring your hands back underneath the shoulders. Make your way back into plank and then downward facing dog. Take a moment in down dog, regroup, engage in the legs. With an exhale, left foot steps outside the left hand into lizard. Touch your right knee on the floor. Now reach your left hand up and back, bend your right knee, grab your foot. And try to grab the outside of the right foot and pull the heels closer to your glutes. a small space, twist on the chest, and maybe bring the right forearm down to the floor. And you notice one side is different. We are not very symmetrical. Right and left can feel very different. Normally, my right side is my bad one, and everybody is different. Keep the breath slow, deep. You can let go of your right foot. Both hands underneath the shoulders. Step back into plank, and then to down dog. 3 deep breaths. We'll make our way into our back. You can either step or jump to the front of the mat, cross your legs, and then lay down to a bridge base with your knees bent. And you can try to align the outer edges of your feet with the sides of your hips, with your toes pointing straight forward. Firm the insides of the feet down to the floor, palms of the hands down, come into bridge pose with an inhale, raise your hips. Walk your shoulder blades under the chest. And you can hold the sides of your mat or interlace the fingers behind your back, reaching your knuckles to your heels. And try to send the breath more to the chest and less to the belly here. Try to put the belly in and broaden the chest as much as you can. Avoid opening the knees too wide, so the inner thighs spinning down to the floor. You can let go of the mat or release the interlace of the fingers. Take a few breaths. Repeat that 2 more times. You can either do, if you have a block at home or a bottle or anything, one option is to place the block in between your thighs and do bridge pose again, firming the blocks, so to teach the action of the legs. Or you can do wheel pose, bringing the hands next to your ears. And you can try to do wheel with the blocks in between the legs as well. It makes it a little bit harder, but you can try that. Either way, bridge or wheel pose. Stay for about 5 slow breaths. You can slowly set it down. Roll the spine down to the floor. If you're on wheel or bridge, you can release the hands. And on the third time, you can do wheel pose again. Or if you want a more restorative bridge, you can place the block underneath the sacrum from the heels down to the floor. Lift your hips and place the block underneath the sacrum bone. Keep the shoulder blades underneath the chest. And again, breathing all the way to the top of the chest. Slow, deep breaths. Can slowly come down wherever you're doing. You can windshield wipe your knees side to side a few times. Step your feet a little wider. Just move the legs. You can move the legs with the breath. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale down, inhale up. You can even move a little faster or slower. Your choice. Again, now plant the soles of the feet on the floor. Bring the right ankle on top of the left knee, setting up for supine pigeon, reclined pigeon. And you can reach the right hand in between the gap of the leg, hold behind your thigh or in front of the shin. You can do the second option, hold the outside of the right foot, bring the right foot inside the left elbow, making a cradle with your arms. Bring the thigh closer to the chest and reach the left leg forward. Either way. Try to soften the shoulders down. And you can keep your left leg soft as well. You don't have to engage the left leg. Try to be more passive here. Try to soften the gaze. If you are doing this version, the second one, bend your left knee again. You can release the right leg, both feet down to the floor slowly. Let's move to the second side. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Reach your left hand through, holding behind the thigh in front of the shin. Or take the second option by holding first the outside of the left foot with the left hand and place the left foot inside the right elbow. Reach the right leg forward. Soften the shoulders and breathe. A few more breaths. Try to relax a little deeper into the breath, releasing all this stuff around the hips. Let go of the left leg. Bend your right knee if the leg is straight. Now hug your knees into your chest. And you can move into plow pose here. Bring the legs over the head. You can bring the hands into the lower back. And your feet don't have to touch the floor here. You can have the legs onto a couch, to a chair. You don't have to have the legs straight. You can bend your knees, bring the knees closer to your face. And don't look to the sides here. Keep the gaze straight up to the ceiling. Never look to the side on this pose. If your legs are straight, you can bend your knees, bring the knees closer to the ears. And release the hands down to the floor. Try to slowly roll the spine down to the floor. From here, we'll move straight into Shavasana. Just roll slowly. And have your legs down a little wider than the hips. Any variation of Shavasana. If you have props at home, you can use them under the legs, under the chest. You can move to a wall. Let go of controlling the breath from now on. Allow your eyes to close. Try to move the shoulders further down, away from the ears. And you stay here for as long as you'd like to for the next 5, 10, 20 minutes. I want to thank you all again for joining us on Down Yoga. Thank you all. Namaste.